pen's divine. Kundalini running up my spine. I climbed up the grit and grind. It's my time, I was meant to shine. Alright, y'all, welcome to Chucky's Imaginarium. I'm gonna get into this video about entity attachments from my perspective and my experiences with them. Entity attachments are very real demons, spirits, entities, you know. They're very real, and I've had experience with a few of them in my day. Ever since I was a little kid, as far back as I can remember, I've experienced these. And I'm gonna get into the low frequency and what they are. I'm gonna get into like demons and lower astral entities, the negative entities. What they are, again, from my perspective, is we're frequency, we're conscious beings of frequency, and we can vibrate high, we can vibrate low. What a demon is a frequency, a conscious frequency that's vibrating kind of as low as you can go. And the thing with demons and negative entities are they can't create their own energy. And so they need your energy, right? So because you're vibrating at a much higher frequency than they are, and so they need your chi, your life force energy, your what makes you, what gives you your energy. And because you're more on the creator, you're at a higher vibration, so you can create your own energy. They don't have that kind of love, and they live in division and separation and illusion, so they need to siphon your loosh. And what they do and how they do that is they feed off your low vibrational emotions. So the more fear you have, the more, things like there's different entities feed off different things. Like the succubus will feed off your lust, will feed off lustful energy. Other energies feed off fear. So what they'll do is, they're not very powerful. They give off the illusion, and they create an illusion kind of thing. So you give them your energy, but when you're unconscious and you don't realize that, then they seem really powerful. But you give them power, so they'll come. So they're kind of like the ones that feed off fear are, like the dementia in Harry Potter. And because I've had experience, I wasn't really a fan of Harry Potter. I started to watch the movies like way after all the movies had been released. I like just not too long ago really did I ever even watch them. And but I've had experience with these spirits for as long as I can remember, because I had a lot of fear, I had a lot of trauma ever since a little kid, so I attracted that. But they're like the dementia in Harry Potter. It's like it's so, when I seen that on Harry Potter, I was like, whoa, like whoever wrote that is like conscious. I forget her name, but she's like, they're just like that. Like when they come in, it's like you could be like having you would just be in a good mood, and then all of a sudden like everything will change and go dark and it'd be like doom doom and like you just feel that kind of energy like the dum 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 like it's terrifying and it just changes and time slows, time starts to slow down and and then you kind of know like oh fuck like something's coming like and and so and see me like of course I was a young I grew up in Christian fundamentalism, so demons really terrified me because it was like I was thinking like, oh, I guess I don't believe in Jesus enough, and so that's why they're on my ass. I'm gonna go to burn in hell. So I would give out a lot of fear, and they love that. That's like whatever, and they can also because they're in like a another dimension, they understand your thoughts, and because everything is one, so they know your fears, right? And so they know your deepest fears and they'll use that to draw more fear out of you. And so there's just like the dementia is sucking that force, and he's like just that's what they do, that's what they do, and they're sucking, and then you'll get up, then you'll go about your day and you'll have no energy to create with. And you be getting up for school and they'll be like, why are you going to, come on, you got to go to school. You'd be like, I just was, sorry, I'm a little slow today, but demons was feeding on me. I know you don't, you know what I'm saying? And it's real. And so what happened to me is this became a nightly thing because I would just get more afraid and more afraid till it was just like, yeah, oh, the demons are coming again. Like it was just a normal occurrence for me as a kid, you know. The demons are feeding on me again, but they're really not powerful. It's like you give them that powerful, but when you don't know, that's the thing. Like you're just their, you're just their puppet, and they can just fuck with you. I had another one that would sit by the bed, like just sit by my bed like this, and just stare at me, and I would just try to play dead, and it would just be sucking all the fucking, oh we got a good one here, you know what I mean? And I'm like, what did I do? I'm sitting there praying to Jesus, like, oh fuck, I don't believe in Jesus enough. I thinking it's something I did, you know. And also they can feed off, anger that they attach to you because they attach to you, and so they latch on to you. I remember I had a dream that taught me this, where there I was I seen a little girl over in the corner, uh, and she was like in the fetal position, like this, terrified, paralyzed in fear, and she had a dark entity, like it was like kind of a little dementia, kind of that's the best way I can describe it, like that, and it was just like floating around her like the fucking Venom suit or something. I don't know, but and she was terrified, and I got angry, like, cause I mean this has happened when I was like a grown man, and so because I had got to the point where I just like I didn't fear them anymore, but I hated them, and then they use that too. So that's and so I went over to the girl and I was just like angry as fuck, and I grabbed the spirit, the demon, and it sucked onto my skin, and then it attached to me, to like it was me. It was like like you know what I mean? And I was like, I was, and I would get angrier, like, oh, fuck, I want this thing off me, like, because you could just feel the darkness and you know what I mean? It was just like, ugh, you know what I mean? And so but I was feeding it. I was feeding it with my anger, with my darkness. And so it would just, the more I would get angry at it, the tighter. And and then I got like information from a higher source that told me detach from it. Don't hate it. Don't feed it your energy. Don't give it anything. Just detach from it. And I didn't know anything about detachment at this time. I didn't know anything about Buddhism, or how they talk about detachment. I didn't know anything about detachment. This is how I understood from experiential. It taught me that in a dream, and so it said detach. And so what I did is I did that. I detached from it. I gave it nothing. I walked over to the door, because this is what I understand now is my higher self, um, God was telling me. And so I opened it. I opened the door. I detached. I didn't have any feelings for it. It got off my skin and just went away. That taught me the power of detachment from experience, not just like hearing it. After I started to look into Eastern, and they talk about detachment and stuff like that. And so, yeah. So one way to get um, dark entities off you, because they can be on you and you don't realize it, and they just cause you know make your life hell. One thing is, once you detach from like just a bunch of stuff, um, because there's all type of spirits that eat different, greed, lust, so you want to detach. The succubus, I've had you know um, a lot of experiences with the succubus. Succubus knows me very well. um, but yeah, like especially when I was younger, like in my teens and 20s, man. Yeah, at one of my favorite sins, lust, is like, what I mean, the succubus would suck me, what I mean. My experience from my perspective. Look how I just casually talk about succubuses and spirit. People's like, this dude is nuts. They don't understand this shit is real. Um, but it's I don't care. You know. But anyway, yeah, the succubus, it like glides over your bed, and it feeds off your sexual energy. Like me, my first experience, I'm just gonna keep it a buck, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, and it's funny because I looked at the clock and it's 1:11. I'm gonna keep it a buck because this is gonna help somebody that has these experiences. Because I had to learn the hard way, bro. I had to learn the hard way. So all right, the succubus, it floats over you like you're in bed, and it floats over you, and it starts like trying to have like some type of intercourse with you, like in your sacral. I'll just say your sacral chakra area, and it starts to feel a little good, and that's how it's like seducing you, and you're just kind of like me. I'm like a little especially at the time. I don't have these experiences now, but I'm a little fucked up. Like I was letting it like do what it do. So I was letting it, and but and then it was like, because it's like it's seducing you, and it's like getting, and then you're like, no, fuck that, get the fuck out, like, and then it just, you know what I mean? But that's its kind of game plan to kind of get you to like, and then what it's doing, it's sucking your luge, and it's using, it likes that, just like people like different foods, different whatever. It likes different energy because it's as above, so below. Everything needs food. Everything needs energy. It's like, Just like we need animals for energy and plants for energy, and then animals need us, try to eat us. And well, in the spirit world, it's the same. Everything, and when you're when you're unconscious and you don't understand these things because you're a human, you don't believe in spirits, you don't, you know what I mean. You're not taught this, you know what I mean. They love that because in that ignorance keeps you tied to your ego, and when you're tied to your ego, you're more caught up in your emotions and your desires and lust and anger and fear, and so they can just. That's why I forget what the Christians say, but the devil likes when you don't believe in him. That's kind of what that means there, is because when you don't believe in spirits and stuff, you don't believe in the spirit world, so you're more tied to your ego. And when you're more tied to your ego, you're more um, you get more wrapped up in your primal human animal anger, fear, desires that belong to the body. You know what I mean? And so that's why they love that. But yeah, and then in your waking day, you'll have no energy to create anything, to create life, to create abundance. You'll be like zombified. You know what I'm saying? And then what happened with me, because especially when I was in the Christian kind of mind state, um, it just wrecked me because I thought like I'm in trouble. I'm gonna go to hell for eternity, and all that fear. Also, what demons can do, they can create in your dreams. They can entities. They could like Mysterio. If you ever seen Mysterio in Spider-Man, he creates an environment around Spider-Man or whoever that looks really intimidating and looks crazy. It's not really as powerful as it looks, but if you believe it's real, then he just like he'll you're gonna be screwed up. And so that's what the dark entity is. So if they know you have a fear of eternal torment, they can create scary stuff to cipher fear out of you. Then you feed them more power, so then they can create a scarier thing. And so they'll have you. So they had me like thinking I was in hell. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be here, stuck here, and they will feed you information to make you think you're stuck there for all eternity because they're trying to get more fear out of you. I mean, they're fucking cold, bro. Like they can create stuff so dark like that it is fucking terrifying. And if you're coming from the Christian perspective, the Christian fundamentalism, like it's because you don't believe in Jesus enough, and yeah, you know what I mean. You're not and they're just sucking that fear out of you, sucking that fear, and you're just like, and they can create things so terrifying, and you'll see entities so terrifying. Um, and then and what you'll do is you'll vibrate low, so you'll go into the lower frequencies, and that's what hell is. Hell is um, your energy is creating that. When you're vibrating in a fear, anger, separate, out of ignorance because nobody taught you everything's one. Their goal, the dark entities, is to get you vibrating, and so they'll be siphoning your energy, and they'll get you to vibrate. You'll start to vibrate low, and so you'll be in the hell. You'll go into astral hell realms, which there's multiple, and this is nothing to be scared of, because I don't know, a kid could be watching this, or an adult, it's whatever, but you realize you have the power. So it's not, as soon as you detach, you'll like, once I learned detachment, I would go out of a hell realm like gone, I'm out, peace, because all you have to do is change your frequency, and then you're out. Like it's not powerful. It's only powerful to the unawakened mind when you don't know, when you're ignorant. That's like how you can be stuck there for a long time, just out of ignorance. Like I was stuck there for a long time. And then I'm like, damn, like I got out. Like, is that easy to get out? And I was there so it's like, I mean, I guess you can be. So when they say it's So when Christians say hell is an eternity, it's not. If you're there for like ever and ever and ever, it's just because you're like ignorant as fuck. Like all you have to do is detach from the fear of it. Stop feeding it, and you're out of there. Access love, access courage. Now, for some people, Jesus helps them access courage. You know what I mean, and that gets them to vibrate higher. But you don't need that. You know what I mean? You can just access it through yourself because God, Jesus, is not separate from you. You are God. And so, yeah, you're an energy being and you can access. So that's what you have to do. So when you're, yeah, and then you just go out and there's the, bro, like, there's hell realms that are crazy. Like when they talk about hell, from the Christian fundamentalists, oh, it's way more creative than that, bro. Like, it is way more creative than you're giving it credit for. There's fucking hells. You'd be like, this is. I'm not even gonna get into that because it's fucking demented, and I don't wanna. If any, I don't wanna like. Somebody will hear that what I'll, and then it'll just probably freak them out, and then they'll attach and then they'll attract dark entities. And so I'm not even going to feed it that energy. But yeah, but maybe in another video for people that But for this video, I'm just going to keep it light because it gets because like that energy can vibrate low, and you'll be like, it's like a psychedelic. Man, that's why I be so angry at Christianity because it's like, bro, y'all got me to vibrate so low, and you all have no idea what I had been through, what I've seen, like how that like drove me crazy. But I know now that it was all for my highest good. I learned a lot. So detachment, also like detachment from drugs because um, when you're addicted to drugs, you open yourself up, especially like alcohol. See, what happened to me was, you know, I like I would have all these, entity attachments and demons and hellish experiences and trauma I had and stuff like that. And so I would use alcohol to cope, which that was just like, oh, now you're gonna open yourself up to bigger demons and bigger hell realms and bigger to shit you can't even fucking imagine exists. Like if you knew it exists, you'd be like fucking terrified. But you don't need to be terrified once you realize that you have the power. You know what I mean? So, because they're not strong, they're only strong when they set like the Mysterio thing, you know. But yeah, so um, yeah, so yeah, so alcohol it opens yourself up to like uh, opens yourself up to astral entities. Period. Um, a lot of drugs do, but alcohol, I could tell you for a fact, bro. I'll be like, I don't know if you ever seen Doctor Strange, the multiverse one, where he has like all these like zombies or entities like on him or a part of him. When you're an alcoholic, like that's what you'll be like. You'll be that. You'll be walking around with like you'll have entities like just like carrying the motherfuckers like they be talking to you. You'd be like, that's why alcoholics when they be drunk they be talking because they be talking to them entity attachments on right? And I'm telling you from experience, bro. Like when you're an alcoholic, because you'll be vibrating so low, and they'll be like, "Oh man, this guy, we're gonna feed on this dude." But but I'm happy. I'm grateful for those experiences because that's part of my, that was part of my journey. I created that. I wanted that to happen because I can learn. because I knew I was strong enough to survive it all. A lot of people maybe not could survive it, but I knew I could overcome it. So um, yeah, so I went through it, and I can make videos, and teach people. And one thing you'll notice, like one thing I noticed, um, is once you break an addiction, you'll break the entity attachment. Like every time I broke an addiction, I would have a dream that I like would just destroy the entity that I was attached to me, that I didn't even know was attached to me, because there was a large part of my life where I didn't even know about entity attachments. But I would break that addiction, and I'd have a dream where I would just be like, and I'd be brutal in my dreams, like, because I'm a savage. So I'd be like tearing their skulls off. Like once I broke that addiction to alcohol, or I've been addicted to kratom, or whatever, um, you'll you'll break that, because they'll have nothing to it's once you learn to detach from things, you know you break that, because they need that energy, they need whatever it be, they need that addictive neediness energy, you know and then you get your power back. You get your power back, and so then once you get your power back, you can defeat them, and then you know yeah. But entity, they're not, they're not really nothing to be scared of, but yeah, they can wear you out when you're you know when you're in your ego, you're not aware of them, you don't know your power. Yeah, they're powerful, but once you know they're not a big deal, and then they'll go away because you're not feeding them anymore, right? I don't even have any judgments of lower energies or anything like that. Like, yeah, like I don't care. Like, so I'm not even judging. Like, like I used to hate them motherfuckers. Where I'd be like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, because they caused me so much. But I even detach from that, and so yeah, I have no judgment of, because like me, like I know I'm an energy being, so I can vibrate low like them, or I could vibrate high. I choose to vibrate high. So I have no judgment, because I believe in oneness. All that's one, you know. And so I try not to even judge lower energies. And then the more you judge them, the more, because the more you give judgment is negative anyway, and everything wants love, even the dark energies. So when you're giving the dark energies hate, they're going to hate you more, and they're going to come after your ass more. Once you're just like, yeah, it's cool. Just like with people, when you just see low vibrational fucked up people, when you don't judge them, they ain't going to fuck with you. When you don't give them any hatred, when you're in that Christ consciousness, and you just love unconditionally with no judgment, and you're just like, you accept it, you just accept it as it's a part of reality. That's the yin, that's the yang. It's just a part of reality. It's cool. You know what I mean? Just like you accept, there's beautiful birds, and then there's worms, and you're just like, oh, it's just a worm. I don't really have any judgment. It's cool. It's part of the creation. We need the polarities. So it's like I don't even judge, like the darkness is the darkness. It's whatever. In fact, like you see skulls, I like it. You know what I mean? Like I like it to extent. If you hear my music, I like to play around. I like scary movies, all that stuff. It's when you start to embody that, when you just start to accept, you're more in the energy of unconditional love, and then these entities won't even fuck with you. They'll go fuck with the people that hate them. You know what I mean? That's why the people that be like the good versus evil, they be like the entities be like that think it's a separate, like, good versus evil. The demons, they be like, you know, the demons are gonna fuck with them because they don't know it's like one thing, and everything wants love. Everything wants to be accepted, and what you resist persists. So, and and this information isn't for everybody. I get it. This is um, for who is ready for it, and a lot of people ain't ready for it, and there's no judgment on that. I get it 100%. You know what I mean? So it's all love, but if you're ready for it, this will help. And if you have the eyes to see, a lot of people don't have the eyes to see. They gonna hear entity attachment. So what? It's like they don't realize that this is a. They don't understand. They're not at that level of consciousness, and I get it. You know, I wasn't. I was having the experiences, and then I was still like, this couldn't be real. You know what I mean? So because all that programming and conditioning. So and then if you never had the experiences, I completely get it. If you like, man, this dude is, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's fine. It's, I don't care. That's where you're supposed to be. Everybody's not supposed to be. You know what I mean? Some people's journey is a completely different journey. Some people's karma is completely different. That's why I'm not even posting this video like this on Facebook or anything, because I don't want to interfere with other people's karma. Some people are not supposed to know this information. I'd rather you come to this information than me try to like push it at you too much, because then it's kind of like, you know what I mean? I know it's, if you come here, if you, then I feel like it's for you. Something in here is for you. So I just want to talk about these entity attachments and stuff like that, not to create fear, but just to create understanding, so you can realize, like, just raise your frequency. They're not, you know what I'm saying? If you have all the, raise your frequency, and then poof, detach. Detach from some of the drugs, detach from the addictions, detach from ego. You know what I'm saying? Realize that you're infinite awareness. You're a divine fractal of God. You're a frequency being. And there's other frequency beings out here. Some vibrating high, some vibrating super high, some vibrating super low. You know what I mean? You vibrate high, they can't handle that light. You know what I mean? It's too much light for them. They'll come fucking pester you every once in a while. Somebody triggers you, then and you start to fall into that. But bring yourself to the present moment. Recreate yourself in the moment that you're the creator. Let that anger go. Let that, that fear go. Or if it's there, use it. Sometimes I have anger, I use it, what I mean, for whatever. You know what I'm saying? My music, whatever. So it's like, yeah, I'm not against anger, anything. Like it's just an emotion. Like I don't care. It belongs to the human character. It's a product of biology, of our biology, our need for survival. I don't have a problem with anger. I don't have a problem with lust. I don't have a problem with nothing. It is just a problem. It's just about understanding for what it is, and understanding things so you can have the best experience on earth. You know what I mean? I'm not you know, I appreciate everything. because everything serves me. The light, the dark, it all serves me. All right. Much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all for viewing. All right. Have a good one. Peace.